Hi, everyone. Welcome to our market update. My name is Vinnie. This guy over here.
David Wright, thanks for joining us here on this lovely Monday, entering into fall.
Great. How are rates looking? I know that's the question that everyone's always asking. How are rates looking?
Vinny, that is a great question because had you asked me on Friday, I would have had a terrible answer for you because rates had jumped up to 6.875 and 7% on Friday. And then today we opened back up at 6.5%. So the amount of market volatility going on right now is literally absurd. So why do I mention this? Because the bond market is constantly changing, and that is making a huge difference with us right now in the mortgage rate environment because the bond market is what drives 30-year fixed rate mortgages. And if you want to see the closest thing that follows that, you can watch the 10-year T-bill. And that's what you really want to watch as well. So I think we're in for another exciting week this week. Last week, beyond action packed. And now moving into this week, I mean, you look at a half a point jump from 7 to 6.5 from Friday to today. I mean, would you have thought that? Like a half a point from Friday to today?
No. And you know what? For people listening, I mean, you're gonna see basically the rates out there. You're gonna see in the sixes. You're gonna see. I mean, wherever you might see them. Remember, there's always flexibility. There's always different programs. As the market gets little wilds, there's going to be more and more programs that are going to be popping up. So your situation might be different from the situation that we talk about here, or you might see online.
You know, everyone's situation is beyond unique. And, you know, if you want to look at this week, what's going to be interesting? The most interesting day this week is going to be Thursday and Friday. Why do I say that? Because we have initial jobless claims on Friday, and we have continuing claims on Thursday. I'm sorry, Thursday. Thursday's initial jobless claims and continuing jobless claims on Thursday, and then Friday, unemployment rate, and a bunch of other things too. But those are your really big heavy hitters. So you definitely want to be to look out that if you're talking to your lender and they're telling you, hey, let's just float every single day, Thursday and Friday is going to be your really volatile days. You know, Wednesday is also unique. That's trade balance. So, you know, you want to look at what's going on with us in China and the rest of the world, and the strength of the U.S. dollar is high right now. We're in some interesting times right now.
Yeah, talking about interesting times. So I wanted to bring some numbers together, and also if you've seen below the clicker right there, not a lot has changed from the last couple weeks. We're still sitting in that kind of 4,000 ballpark. One thing that is kind of interesting. So if we're looking right here, the median detached or median price has gone up a tad bit, and that's across the board. This is for detached. So we did get down from 1 million to 900,000. We have gone back up for the median detached a little bit, but the interesting fact is lists to sold is still going down. So we're at 97% when we're at that peak of 106% of lists to sold, right? So what we're seeing is people getting.
Vinny, can you explain what that means to other people out there when you say 106?
People are accepting offers under asking. Now, mind you, where it sits under asking, this is the median, right? Median is basically if there's 3 units sold, it picks the middle one, right? You talk average, they add them together, you divide it by 3. So the median, right? Now, if we're talking about right now, we're on 97% list to sold. That means at a $1 million property, they're selling at $970,000. Where if we would have been watching us a little while back, you would have understood that at $1 million we were selling at $1,060,000.
Let's say 4 months ago, you would have had that.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, you're
4 months ago. That's how much has changed in 4 months.
You're talking about a 9% roughly difference in list to sold, which is pretty big. So understanding what to offer on a property can play a factor. Now there's still outliers of individuals still looking to purchase, but that should give you kind of a rough idea that values are going up a tad bit, yet the list of sold is going down, and we'll see over the next couple of weeks what happens there. But it really hasn't affected too much of inventory out there. So that should give you a little bit insight into the market that we currently sit in.
And speaking of inventory, Vinny, let's dive into that a little bit. Is 4 months ago, how much inventory did we have compared to now?
So we were roughly about, I want to say 23 at our low. I think we got down at the beginning of the year or something like that, around the 1800. And I have to look at the numbers to see it precisely. But we were at around 23, I think, just a couple months back. We did get to like 43. So we went up fairly drastically. Now we're down to 4,000. So we went up pretty drastically when rates started going up. Now we went down a tad bit. Pending properties has gone down a tad bit. And the reason why I use pending properties, they give them a little bit of insight to what actually is currently in the market. Because if we look what sold over the last 3 months, we're gonna have a different number to kind of balance off of. But yeah, pending property has gone down a tad bit. Active properties have gone down a tad bit. But yeah, it is the holiday season, so kind of things to think about. And there's something that when we talk about, I mean, every once in a while, is in that last market that we were just in, right, where rates were so drastically low. A lot of people that maybe were looking to buy end of the year jumped into the market when the rates were that low. So
those were the lowest rates in history.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, come on, like that was the lowest rates in history. And for all those people out there who kept saying it's going to get lower, just wait.
Yeah. Wow. So I mean, that's what you got to look at. Okay, well, what's the market looking like right now? What are we looking at? We're listed sold again 9%. We've had a drop on the median detached price from roughly $1 million to 900,000, right? So we're talking about a 10% drop in San Diego. I mean, how far will it go? I mean, your guess is as good as mine. I think that's probably going to go a tad bit more. But also, if you can get it at 7% under list, something to think about. Anyways, let's put David to the test because we know how we like putting David to the test.
All right, no. You know what, Vinnie? I want to add something before we put me to the test. I was reading an interesting report earlier, and for all of you out there who aren't really following multifamily developments and builders, they're actually down 16%. So the building of homes and multifamilies is now down 16%, and that's supposed to be projected into 2023. So that means 16% less homes being built, because right now the builders are going, materials are really high, building costs are really high, and rates are really high. So they're slowing down on what they're building. And that's not good for us, because when builders don't build, we don't have homes. So that's going to create some problems later.
We need a lot more homes. We need to probably get to about 8,000, 9,000 homes to really feel the effects of a cooling market. But anyways, all right. So how much, David, and if you guys is first time watching, all you got to do is text below for your chance to win, myself or David for your chance to win. So this is the question that we had before. Put David to the test. How much is the least expensive detached property sell in Otay Mesa so far this year? Least expensive.
And we were saying single family residence, right?
Correct.
And I think I went with 375.
300,000. Pretty close. Not too bad.
Man, Wardlow Ave. I've done business on Wardlow. Interesting. Right. Wow. I wish I would have bought that house for 300,000. Was it trashed?
Yeah,
it was.
Hey, I'm not saying anything. It's you have to look it up. All right. So how much of the most expensive detached property sell in La Jolla so far this year? This is the question that we actually had. I want to say beginning of the year. We had one. Same question. Now is it going to be the same answer, if you even remember?
27 million.
All right, that's David's guess. What's your guess? Text below for your chance to win $50. Easy $50. All you got to do is text for your chance.
We're making it rain, Vinny. Making it rain.
Making it rain. Any last words of wisdom?
Always remember